What's up and welcome to the channel. You knew this was coming, Elphelt. Let's watch this. Now, first up, people were mad that we didn't get the booby bullet, claiming censorship. I understand. I feel you. I was hoping for it as well, but potentially due to limitations on animation, stuff like that, we don't get it. It's still really good. Still really good. Still really good S3. Let's look at it again. We're gonna come back here. We're gonna look at this again because I want to see it. I still do like it. I'm gonna be real. Also, that teehee at the end. Let's be real. This, we're gonna go back to so you can see this right here. Tell me that is not an absolutely adorable face smile, and then you have no, go back. I need to see this. See, dude, right there. Yeah, it's really, really good.
엘페르트 밸런타인은 백야드에서 태어난 순수하고 낙관적인 소녀입니다. 결혼을 통해 사랑을 이해하려는 이 소녀는 우연히 발견한 카오스 게이트를 통해
The power of marriage, boys.
토너먼트 참가자에게 시련을 내리던 도살 부대원을 만나면서 이야기가 시작됩니다. 엘페르트는
Okay, so we're going to talk about this, right? Okay, so 1003 attack. Really pretty good. Health is pretty decent at 5704. 115 speed is really good. That's Falconeer Quarry levels of speed, right? Let me bring this in here so you guys can see this a little bit better here. Now, attack imprint for everybody, 10.8. Get it, understandable. It's not bad. However, I do think you are going to want to imprint concentration. You're going to want to self-imprint on her if you can pull multiples, right? Obviously, you know, if you only have one, your options are a little bit limited, but because of her kit, I think that you're going to want to do effectiveness. Now, she does get 30% effectiveness off of her awakenings, and that is disgusting. Really, really big fan of that one. So speed wise, she's going to be really good. Is she going to be stupid fast, dummy fast, Kayron fast? No, but she's still going to be outspeeding in comparable gear. She's going to be outspeeding your Basars. So while not a direct Basar counter, she's going to be dunking on Basars in similar gear because you're going to want to be going speed. You're going to want to be going effectiveness. She does have a very, very high gear requirement, which we will talk about, but overall I am pretty happy with these base stats. She is Capricorn, so you can get your catalyst farming going right now. Personally, I'm triple S'ing this so I can get that effectiveness. Okay, skill introduction here. We're going to talk about skill 3, Magnum Wedding. Shoots bullets of love at the enemy, dispelling 1 buff before a 75% chance to put them to sleep for 1 turn and decreasing defense for 2 turns. This grants the caster an extra turn. You can get this up to 100% chance for sleep. Now, you're going to be running tons of effectiveness, so you're going to probably be a little lacking on some of your other skills, like stats, things like that. Sleep guarantees a crit. So you can actually forego some of your crit chance to open up with this and then guarantee a critical hit on your next ability, and that's going to be real big. Or what you can do with this is, let's say you're up against a Basar, dispel his immunity, put him to sleep, defense break him. Now your extra turn can be used to go against somebody else and go because you get the extra turn And that way you can set things up. Now your next turn person, the next person who goes your follow-up has a sleep defense broken Basar to easily clean up. Or you just literally leave him asleep. Who cares? You know, just leave him sleepy boys. Now later on you will be able to, or well, even if you want to run a tags, right, you can soul burn that for the ignore effect resist. Personally, you know, if you're going to be opening on a single target, that's not a bad idea because the 15% exists. People are always like, oh, but insert X unit exists. The ignore effect resist, or the 15% exists. Now, I have seen people already say, but FCC. I feel like you are going to have probably enough damage to, especially if you're elemental advantage, to burn through the shield. If not, that's just something that you're going to have to deal with. But the Dispel 1 buff, Go Sleepy Times, is going to be very, very strong. You do get a little bit of Booby Bullet into that. The Teehee's super good though. Okay, so skill 2. Traps the enemy in a cake before attacking them with a cake cutting blade, increasing critical hit chance of all allies for 2 turns. This is really, really strong because a lot of people would run C-Dom so that you could gear differently because you'll have the critical hit chance buff. Really super good. Now, when the enemy is defeated, this also decreases defense of all remaining enemies for 2 turns. Damage dealt increases proportional to the number of debuffs inflicted on the enemy. Now, let's say you did your S3, right? You hit them with defense break, you hit them with the sleep. You follow up on this, deado, because you're going to have 2 debuffs. They're going to be defense broken. You're going to just go through them, and now you're going to decrease the defense of all enemies on the field. So if you have follow-up units, let's say you go Elphelt into a CR pusher, you push your units forward, everybody's def broken, and you just clean house. This is going to be a really, really strong combo. I do think that skilling this up is going to be really important because you're going to want to make sure that this skill kills, because you want to get that defense break on everybody after killing with this in order to set yourself up for easy cleanup. I can see her being a cleave initiator. I also think that this skill looks really super fun. Okay, Elphelt's skill 1. Fires a barrage of bullets at the enemy with 65% chance to make them unbuffable for 1 turn. Unbuffable is already super strong. This just means that, well, 1, she's going to be fast, so she's going to be putting unbuffable on a lot of people. This is almost a requirement to go to +3 for the 75% chance. I know 10% chance more is what it is, but very, very important on this one. Really think that you are going to want to +3 this, max out your S3 and your S2, then come back and do this as get the last 2 as your last part on this one. Elphelt, I believe, is going to be a needs to be +15 unit, but you can work on them as you go, right? So this is going to be really, really strong. Especially if you go into like double ups with, like, let's say Lilius or Kitty Clarissa, Tamrin, things like that. Boom, unbuffable, boom, unbuffable, boom, unbuffable. It's one of the reasons why Basar is super good. Strips, then puts on unbuffable. If you can unbuffable people at clutch times K-Run, unbuffable. Easy. Then you follow up on him with somebody next turn, can't put immunity up, easy done. Okay, so really do like this skill, very, not too big. Okay, now this is her artifact, and I want to talk about her artifact. Like, this thing is like certifiably like kind of nutty, right? So this has a 60% chance to at max, it has a 60% chance to decrease the defense of an enemy for 1 turn after a single attack. All of her abilities are single attacks. Asaria's abilities are single attacks, right? Wanda's specialty change, Wanda, when we were looking at the stream this morning, somebody brought up SC Wanda. That's going to be huge as well. Anybody who has nothing but single attacks is going to benefit very, very well from this. Like, I mean, think about it this way. Units that, like, let's take Alencia, for example. Just the fact that she has defense break on her S1 is already super huge. Like, very, very good unit just because of the defense break. Now, I grant it's 1 turn, right? Okay, so, like, if you're hitting somebody that's going immediately next, then you're not going to be getting as much off of it as you could be. But let's say you hit somebody who just went. Now you have a whole time of follow-up on that defense broken unit. Now, this doesn't work on your counterattack, dual attack, extra attack, obviously. So this isn't going to work as well with like a Lilius, Tam, whatever, because you're not going to be getting that defense break. But understandable, if you had a 60% chance to defense break on extra attacks, that would just be stupid. That would just be dumb, like super good, like just disgusting. This artifact is amazing. I 100% think that you should, if nothing else, pull on this artifact, dude. Like, you can eventually level it up through potions from the shop, but that's not very efficient since you have to spend too many, so much dust to get those. But this is going to be disgusting. Personally, I'm going to max 1 out, hopefully, within the time it takes to triple S her. And then if I can keep going, I'm going to keep going. That's pretty much how that's going to go. Even at base, a 30% chance to decrease defense is still pretty disgusting. It's very, very strong artifact.
단일 공격 후 대상에게 최대 60% 확률로 1턴간 방어력감.
Now, also, because she's going to be high on effectiveness, this will also help with the artifact, right? Because artifacts are beholden to effect resist and works off of your effectiveness. Now, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, one of the things I want to say here is I wouldn't be surprised if her modifiers are not amazing. And like right out of the gate, people are going to judge her because they're going to be like, well, she doesn't do X amount of damage. Like, you know, her modifiers are trash, blah, 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 you know, trash unit. The thing is like, she is a setup unit, right? So even if she's not doing disgusting DPS by herself, the ability to set up on units is really, really strong here. And I mean, you can see on defense broken Charles, and it does feel like when they do these showcases, they actually do have some okay gear, because like when they showed the ML Haste with the Arbiter Vildred, like it did seem like he had some gear. Obviously, you don't know what they're running here, so being able to go like, oh, look, she just did 16k damage to this Charles, that's disgusting. You don't know exactly what it is that she is rocking. Was she a slow Elphelt? Obviously, multiple people have gotten turns here. How did this work out? You know, she's got attack buff up. What's the setup here? But regardless, the thing you have to think about is if you're doubling up on a specific unit, you're going to have an easier time because you're going to be def breaking them. So your follow-up with the Cake Slicer is going to be really high damage. Now, one of the other things too is if you do build her for like a mid-speed damage dealer, not only will she'll fall from a Basar counter to an Arbiter Vildred counter, right? So you have a multiple unit counter in one specific unit because you have the double up. You can build her for just hyper speed to just counter Basar. So you can build her multiple different ways. Personally, I'm going to build her hyper speed, but I do think that building her like a mid-range speed so that you would push into her to double up on the Arbiter Vildred would be an option as well. And again, if you like as you can see here, killing that Charles def braked 2 of their units for the follow-up into the cleave. So she's going to be 100% going to be a cleave enabler. Tywin, I mean, Tywin does have the CR push, but personally, I think that she's going to be a very good CR initiator. So let's get back to also her lobby animations are just worth the pull by herself. Let's watch this. Let's appreciate this. Oh, look at that! Just absolutely freaking adorable. Absolutely adorable. But we're gonna go back to her stats. Okay, so one of the big things here is, like I said, she's gonna be stat hungry. You're gonna want effectiveness so you can land the debuffs, but you're also going to want to need high speed. If you're just high speed, high effectiveness, you're going to be doing next to no damage. So you're going to need to also have crit damage. You're also going to need to have crit chance. I think that you don't need to necessarily stack so much on attack because her follow-up S2 is based on those debuffs. So you're going to have scaling based on the debuffs as well as attack. And so I think crit damage is going to be a little bit more important if you're trying to wombo combo S3 into S2, because C damage is more important when it comes to modifiers that are based on something outside of attack, right? So I think that that's going to be really, really important there. Her health and her defense are both pretty okay. So you don't have to worry too much about that, but I do like overall. But again, you're going to be looking for pieces of gear. So you're going to want like speed and hit sets, which is actually good because I got so many hit sets that just have disgusting stats on them. And I'm like, what am I going to do with all these hit sets? I don't know. But you're going to be able to use both of those because, like, again, you're going to want the hit set bonus. So if you have hit sets that are like C damage, speed, effectiveness, that's going to be optimal, right? If you have crit chance on that as well, that's going to be really big. So those are big things. But the other thing too, though, is she gives extra crit chance to everybody else. So this is going to really help out with adjusting your team's gear, so you can bring people who are just stacked heavier on your offensive stats for going a little bit of crit chance. Now in RTA that's going to be dangerous. In arena you're playing against the AI anyways, so you're going to be able to set up whatever you need. So that doesn't even count. I don't even care about how she's going to do in arena defense, arena offense. You're playing against the AI. I do think though that if they only opt to bring a Basar and yours is super speed, well then they're getting what they asked for right there. So you're going to have a lot of people bringing like grass bait. However, if you bring grass bait and it's like, let's say a Vildred or a Charles or something like that, asleep and defense broken and dead. Yeah. So I do think that she might be pretty good on arena defense if you have her in like that golden zone of speed where she can outspeed other Basars. The problem is they're probably going to bring speed imprints. However, Basar's probably going to miss her because of elemental disadvantage, and then she's just going to follow up on whoever right afterwards. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But again, like I said, you are going to want to run effectiveness, speed, critical hit damage, attack, critical hit chance, especially if you're going to be an opener, right? You're going to want that critical hit chance in order to efficiently establish a kill, unless you decide to just go straight up high damage and then you push with an Oxlots so you can do the S3 into S2. But I feel like if you're going to do that, there's other units that you could use, unless you're going to Oxlots her forward into other cleavers to finish up after you def break the entire rest of the team. I do think that she is going to play a very good open spot. You're going to have a lot of options with her, depending on who you're going up against. And like I said, the natural 115 speed, that's similar to my Falconeer Quarry. My Falconeer Quarry is 280 speed. So, given the same gear over to her, I would have to move some stuff around in order to optimize things. But I do think that you can use her as an opener with damage as well. So that's kind of my opinions on her. I think that she's going to be very big. She's going to have a very big impact on the meta, regardless of what anybody says. Team her up with her artifact. You could also run her with, let's see, what other good artifacts would there be? Because you don't want to use well, you could use like a Rosa or Infinity Basket to get the double attacks, to get the unbuffables up, but I don't think that's the best option for you. Drink's probably not going to be a very good option on her, just because you're probably not going to be stacking for damage on this unit. I do think that hers is probably going to be the best one. The artifact that gives you CR push whenever you kill stuff is also a good option. There's going to be some interesting options, but I would 100% stick her artifact on her. So that way, even if you don't have her built for a lot of damage, she's going to be able to provide more defense breaks and setups and stuff like that. So that's going to be very, very good. So should you roll for her? Absolutely. First off, she's a limited waifu. She's super cute. Her lobby is adorable. Her kit is disgusting. And you get a chance to add her artifact. So 100% Elphelt is an absolute roll. I will wait to see her modifiers. I think that her modifiers are going to be really interesting to see. I do think they're going to be toned down a little bit. They're not going to be like disgustingly high where she's like just one-shotting people through no def break or anything like that on her S3. But the S3 into S2 combo is going to be really good for just destroying Charles counter, right? Because she's going to put him to sleep. Because who runs 200% effect resist Charles? Right? And even if he counters, well, no, that's not true. Because if he counters, he's going to crit S1 and S2 on fire because, well, that's just what Charles does. So anyways, it will be interesting to see how this unit shakes up the meta. I'm going to have her built immediately as soon as I get her. So that's going to be good times. Anyways, guys, I hope that you did like this and you have found this helpful. If you did, as always, and you're not yet, subscribe, hit the bell notification, drop me a like, comment, share this out, because I do appreciate that. And I like to get feedback on some of these should you roll videos. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Are you going to be rolling for her? Are you happy with the way she came out? Are you disappointed? I do think that instead of her being a direct counter, she is more of her own character with an interesting kit that just so happens to counter specific characters. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy, homies. Peace.
Cracky.